How were you and Malcolm and the rest of the band coping at that stage?
For us, it was never a big pressure, you know, because, I mean, we can only be ourselves, you know.
Right.
And so there was never any real, we never, up until that time, actually, for us it was still all fun, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it really was, you know, we just liked to keep it fun. We didn't want to be stuck down or bogged down with it all.
Yes, but I mean, you're getting people like myself sort of demanding your time, asking you to compare Countdown.
Yeah.
I mean, did you enjoy that period in your time, or was it a hassle?
Nah, I didn't mind it, you know. I mean, but you can only, it just depends on how you look at it. I mean, you can say some things you've done in the past were stupid, and then you can say other things were great, you know. Right. I mean, there's some stupid things we've done too, you know. I mean, gone across the Nullarbor Plain in the back of a truck, you know, covered in red dust, you know, sort of like lying here, waking up in Perth and then getting kicked on stage, you know. So, I mean, there's things like that you can look back and say, well, that was stupid. You know, why did you do that for? You know, and then at other things, you can say that was great. Yeah.
Now, a strange thing is...
I mean, put it this way, I wouldn't change it, and I would do it all again.
You're known these days as a heavy metal group, which I find absurd, you know. How do you find it when they classify you as a certain type of group?
Well, it's a bit silly, really. I mean, because we've never come out and said we're a heavy metal group.
Right.
We just, for us, it's just the same as what it always was since 1955, or it's rock and roll music. No more, no less. You know, maybe it's a bit louder, but apart from that, it's no different. Yeah.
Okay, you released a couple more singles, and then Highway to Hell, which, funny enough, you've had to live with, I think, in certain areas since, you know. Highway to Hell, where'd that song spring from?
Well, that's, I think we had just come from here. We'd done, we were working on material here, and then we went to America, and we were starting to work with a new producer, Matt Langer. Yeah. And we were rehearsing before we'd even gotten near Matt Langer, and me and Malcolm, more or less, were in there one day bashing away, and I came up with the idea for that song. Highway to Hell. Yeah. I think it's a great song. Yeah.
Right.
But, you know, everyone says that nowadays, you know, you get a lot of flack about it, but at the time, I mean, that was the album that broke us in America.
One was at the Adelaide on New Year's Eve, when they were threatening to pull the plug out, and they did, in the middle of your performance.
Yeah.
And you just kept playing on, you know, to the point that it ended up sort of some guy carrying Bon on his shoulders, just playing the bagpipes, and you were still singing. Did you enjoy those times?
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't, that sort of stuff you couldn't, if you told somebody about them, they wouldn't believe it.
No, I didn't believe it at the time.
Yeah. And, I mean, we've had a few of those. I mean, it's a pity we didn't have, you know, like camera crews and things to record these things, you know. But that's, you know, they're like things that, it isn't, I think for us, it's, you know, I think other people wouldn't have, they'd all been all heartbroken about it, but for us, I mean, it only added to the adventure.
Right.
So,
okay, so you go to England.
with a plug pulled on his mini Lord.
The plug pulled on, right. And you're going through a change in English music because you're suddenly finding the punk era happening, with the Sex Pistols breaking out. How did you approach music at that stage? I mean, when you're looking, you go to England and you say, right, this is the way the English are thinking at the time, you know?
Well,
the Easy Beats certainly did this, you know?
I think well, for what we were, when we arrived there, they were already getting into this punk stuff, and So for us, it was no. We were lucky in the respect that I think people who come and saw us, you know, for them it was something different. They didn't have really much, except I mean, they were still lacking a lot. You know, they didn't have their. I mean, I don't even think they had the Sex Pistols happening up until
broken.
Yeah, later on.
Yeah.
You know. So for us, it was pretty good. You know. But as I say, we always steered away from somebody calling us punks or whatever. We never sort of glowed under any banner. You know, we always kept away from all those things because we always believed that once people you start giving yourself a tag like, you know, punks, it's a bit shallow, you know.